Welcome to Life Happens, where Texans come to protect their legacy and prepare for the second half of life. Join your host, attorney Kim Hegwood with Hegwood Law Group, and our weekly guest as we navigate the challenges that emerge as life happens. Now here's your host, Kim Hegwood.
Good morning and welcome to Life Happens with me, Kim Hegwood, and our very special guest is Benjamin, who I've now commonly called our new tech guy. And because he's great at technology and helping us, get information out for seniors. And today we're going to be talking about helping seniors maintain independence with social connections. So thanks, Benjamin, for being on the show today.
You bet.
So we all know that it's really important for seniors to have really, strong social connections and being able to be sociable and having interaction, with people. But sometimes it's not as easy. So what tools are available for seniors to stay connected with family and friends, even when they're, not real tech savvy, because that would be my mom. It's not real tech savvy.
Yeah. So this has really exploded over 2020, 2021, because everybody was looking for solutions. And so there's hundreds of options now for how to stay connected socially with friends, meet new friends, virtual travel, virtual reality travel. I mean, there's so many things that are now helping seniors stay connected. I want to focus more specifically on just like really people I actually know. I probably would have visited in person, but maybe it's getting harder to visit in person. How do I stay connected with them? And I want to take you, I challenge you to think about it if you're a care professional or if you're a family member, think about the senior specifically and their ability levels and their preferred method of communication. If there's someone who can use a smartphone, then we're going to pick certain options. If there's someone who can use a television, then we'll pick certain options. If it's someone who can use a regular phone, they have a landline, that's how they connect with people, then let's focus there. Someone who really doesn't do much other than print, like they can read, they can look at things, then we'll go that direction, right? Like we really have to be picking a solution that works for the specific senior that we're dealing with. A lot of people try to take a one-size-fits-all approach, and it doesn't work. We're just going to go to the newest Alexa device, the newest Google Hub device. We're just going to pull it off the shelf, put it in the home, and hope it works. But maybe the senior can't remember how to keep it connected to Wi-Fi. Maybe they don't know which buttons to press. Maybe they don't know how to access the screen to get to the family. They may not do that. It may work great for many people, but it may not work for your specific senior that you're working with. So it's first and foremost very important to identify what technology works best for them, and then also what technology works for the care setting that they're in. If they're in a situation in which they never get any visitors in person, so they have to keep the technology working without any help, then you may need to think about a device that does not need batteries, does not need to be plugged in and plugged out, doesn't need to be connected to Wi-Fi, or if it is, it stays connected and it never drops off, right? You're going to have to think about those things, because if you don't have someone in the home helping with that, then you may have some challenges in making sure it actually gets used. So let's think about someone who only can read, right? I can do FaceTime once in a while, but that's really hard for me to do. And I don't know how to do this. And I'm up here and, it's like, you can't see their face and they're like, oh, I see you. It's, oh my gosh, you've all been in those situations. Well, Familio.com, Familio is a really cool solution out of France. What they've done is they've created an app the family uses. The elder never sees the app. The family has the app. The family posts pictures, messages all week long. And then on Monday, mom gets a magazine mailed to her with all the pictures, all the messages. Here's what's going on in the family. Beautiful magazine that she can hold on to and read all week long and keep it forever. And then she gets another one next week. Great program. I mean, I use it with my own family. We love it. And Grandpa gets a magazine every Monday. I think now we've switched to every other Monday, but you can switch it to once a month, to every week, every other Monday, however you want to do it. I think the maximum you pay is 20 something bucks for once a week, once a week, and then it's like $8 a month if it's once a month. So it's really affordable to get a full color private magazine just for your loved one to stay connected. Um, FamilyJam.io. This is for someone who really likes the phone. Like they love the phone, but the generational problem we have today is I'm working odd hours because no one works 9 to 5 anymore. And so I'm working these odd hours. You're awake early from 6 a.m., grandma, but you go to bed at 6. And I'm, on weekends and who's doing what. And it's really hard to sync our schedules for 10 different family members to all call grandma, right? It's just really hard. So what Family Jam does is it uses artificial intelligence to figure out when everybody is available. And then it will guess, it will say, okay, I bet Grandma and Judy are available at the same time. So I'm going to call both of them. If they both answer, then I'm going to connect them and they'll talk for a little bit. And so what it does is it learns people's patterns of when they happen to have that 15 minutes while they're walking a dog. And that's when they call them and say, you want to talk to Grandma, right? So Family Jam is that option. The another option I think is really helpful is using the TV. Rather than having a senior need to learn a whole new technology, you have the senior use what they're using every day, which is their TV. I think Independa is probably the best in the market for this. Independa.com. What they do is they kind of take over the TV. There's a device you plug into it, and it has a camera. And when you're watching I Love Lucy, a message will pop up on the screen saying, hey, Susan wants to talk to you, yes or no. Press yes. Susan appears on your TV screen. Susan can see you. You can see Susan. You have a conversation. You're watching the football game. Message pops up and says, you just received a text message from your daughter. Want to see it? Plus yes. See pictures, see messages from your daughter. Reminders, take your medication. I'm going to come pick you up at 2:00, whatever. Those can pop up on the screen while they're watching their TV show. They don't have to go to some input, select an HDMI, get to it. It just pops up on their screen. They select yes or no right off the screen. So as long as they can work a remote and know how to use the arrow to go yes or no, then they could use the TV version to stay connected with their family from around the world very easily. Some folks really need a even simpler device that's designed specifically for seniors, maybe those with some cognitive challenges are really not very techy. And these are devices like Sociavi and Connect and NoIsolation.com. They're devices that are basically like big iPads that are in kind of housing. And so it sits almost like a little mini TV that you can put near your bed, near your chair, et cetera. It's very close to you. You can reach it and touch it. So when it only lets certain people call in, you program in who's allowed to call in. And then when they see that person's face on the screen, a big button will come on. Do you want to talk to Joe? Right. And they just click the button. So as long as they can follow a very basic prompt on screen, like click this big red button, hit the button, right, then they can use this device. These can also be set up for families to be able to just call in and not have to have the elder know how to answer it. They can be set up just to be able to have it. I can have it next to me, and my daughter could call in and be like, hey, Dad, it's me. Just want to check on you. How you doing? Oh, hey, how you doing? Right. And we can have a conversation without me having to touch anything. So those are devices that do need to be plugged in. They do need to be on Wi-Fi. So as long as you have someone visiting once in a while to make sure that's happening, then that's possible. So those are a few. There's lots of options now, but those are a few to give you a sample of how diverse your options can be based on a senior's needs.
Wow. And so I wouldn't have even thought, I keep thinking of what my mom can do versus, thinking she's not that tech savvy, but she definitely knows how to do the remote. So I would have to have, so in my head, I'm thinking, which one would mom need down the road? And so I'm not sure she listens to my show yet. So I have to be very careful. And so So let's kind of switch gears a little bit, and let's talk about transportation. And so these transportation tools are always, really cool things because we want seniors to get out. We want them to be able to do things. We don't want them at home doing nothing, so because it just helps with, their mental, abilities, and just I'm all about a good quality of life. And that's what we preach to my clients. We just want you to have a good quality of life. What can we put in place to make sure that happens? So what do you have in that toolbox of yours for transportation?
Well, so we have already, each community, each county typically has some sort of dial a ride kind of program for seniors. So you have that foundation. You have Lyft and Uber, that foundation. You have home care agencies, which often offer rides for their clients as part of their package. You have assisted living and independent living and memory care that all offer bus outings and transportation. The challenge is when it gets hard to use some of those things. Let's take Lyft and Uber. I'm a live alone. I want to get to the store. I want to get to the doctors. But using a smartphone and these apps is just hard for me. Well, GoGo Grandparent, what it does is it lets seniors call in. They call a phone number and they can request a ride. They can request someone go shopping for them with like Instacart. They can request someone deliver them food from their favorite restaurant, something like Grubhub or DoorDash. They can do all that verbally. They do not ever need to touch a smartphone. And so that can be very helpful in helping a senior engage in this new world of really convenient transportation mitigation, right? Either deleting the need to have transportation because someone's bringing me what I need from Walmart, someone's bringing me what I need from the local restaurant, or they're coming to pick me up and take me there. I mean, that alone solves so many transportation issues for seniors. Just being able to pick up the phone, make that call, get what they need, right? The challenge I think that comes in for some folks is really I need someone to stay with me the whole time. That's when a lot of the services that you and I might use don't work as well for a senior. I need someone to stay with me at the grocery store because I'm going to get confused and I need some help. I need someone to stay with me at my medical appointment. There's still not a lot of options for that one group that's trying to solve that. They're called hopskipdrive.com. And their model is to develop something as simple as an Uber or Lyft, but that also has that companion that stays with you on the entire errand or the entire journey. They don't just drop you off like Errand Lyft or a taxi service would, or a dial a ride. Dial a ride even from the county. You got to be able to get from the curb to where you're going, and you need to be able to manage yourself there. There's a lot of seniors that need someone with them. So Hop, Skip, Drive is trying to solve that. They're also doing it for children. You need someone to take you to school, et cetera. They're offering it for that as well. So that would be the other option out there for that particular situation.
So let's switch gears just a little bit because we talk to clients a lot. We talk about about money and and having all your documents in place. But some of the things that really trip people up are making sure that their bills are getting paid on time, making sure that they don't miss bills, make sure they don't pay them more than once. Really making sure that that things are getting taken care of. And so while I've often told people to just put them on auto pay so that they are automatically done. And then you don't have to kind of worry about it. Your job is to make sure there's money in the bank. That's the way I live. Everything's coming out. I got to make sure I throw money in. And but what kind of things could family members do to help people make sure that that their bills are getting paid so that they can they just maybe a little forgetful, that sort of thing.
Oh, like you said, if you have a family member who's very involved and they're able to set up a good system, you may not need additional services. I use a bank called One Finance. It's a new bank. It's only been in existence about 2 years. It makes automating all your bill paying very simple. You are able to set up little pockets that all the money goes into. The check comes in, it's divvied out into the different pockets, and each pocket has its own virtual card. So you can even pay from different pockets. So we always pay TV and utilities out of this pocket. We always pay for Amazon out of this pocket, right? And so you can really you can really automate all your stuff very easily.
I was thinking budgeting would be
Oh,
really, really be able to do well with that.
yes, that's how I'm a terrible budgeter. So it does it all for me. So I can see exactly how much I have left to spend. It's awesome. But for someone who doesn't really have that kind of support, or their family's really busy, or they've got a lot of paper bills that are hard to figure out how to pay electronically, or they just need someone to really take this on, silver bills would be the tech solution for that. Most cities have people whose job is to just pay people's bills. Like, that's what they do. They're like private bookkeepers, and that's what they will take on for folks, which is great. And I certainly highly recommend and applaud the personal concierge type services that you could purchase. If you're looking for more of a tech solution that's a lot cheaper, I think this is usually about, I'm forgetting the price. I think it's like a $20-30 a month or something. It's really, really low price compared to the kind of cost you'll pay for a bookkeeper or something like that. And Silver Bills handles all the bill paying for you. You can mail things to them. You can take pictures for them. You can, reroute things to them. There's a lot of ways to do it, but they'll take care of paying all the bills and making sure everything's done for you. So Silver Bills would be a solution I would look into. ARP actually was one of the investors, if you will, or accelerators of Silver Bills. They were part of a special ARP program to help new companies that want to serve seniors develop and flourish. They were part of that Age Tech collaborative with ARP.
Awesome. And that's great. And most definitely. And so I just want to thank you for being on the show today. So how do people find you if they want to know more about you or you're one of your communities?
Yeah, we're at kelschcommunities.com. 43 communities in 8 states. My email is bms@kelschsenior.com. And our phone number is 360-867-1900.
Thank you so much for being on the show today, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Life Happens with Kim Hegwood. Be sure to tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. wherever you listen to your podcast as we navigate through the challenges that emerge as life happens. The content of the